Welcome into the Marvel Stuff podcast. I bet you thought we didn't exist anymore. No, actually, we took a couple weeks off. Coach has been very, very busy having the second kiddo, and I've had a couple of professional stuffs and vacations, and we've been busy. But I tapped my good friend Noah King Bates to jump on the show, who also has been making life moves. But here we are, and we're going to record the Marvel Stuff podcast. What's going on, dude?
Let's go. I'm doing well, between moving, big moves, theater stuff, which has been out the wazoo. And I've been doing really well, man. I've been doing really good. How's the kiddo?
The kid's great. It's awesome. Took a new job. Pretty excited about that and get a little same company. So no, I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. So that's pretty neat. And moving up, doing things like that. We just got back from Detroit, and I got to see Eminem last night because he showed up at the
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. So that was a pretty sweet weekend. But our viewers don't super care about that stuff, so we're going to talk about the Marvel stuff here. Secret Invasion. So we missed episode 3 and episode 4, and honestly, it's kind of hard to remember which one's which. And this is the first time you've been on the show discussing Secret Invasion, so I think we just talk about what are your thoughts so far, and then we can kind of hit on some of the highlights of the last couple episodes.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, overall, I love the tone in which it's set. It's giving a lot of Winter Soldier vibes. It's giving.
Yep.
I like the way that they're allowing Sam to joke about stuff that we haven't really got to touch on in terms of Marvel. Like he's been making a lot of racially motivated
Sam Jackson
jokes.
To the uneducated.
Yeah. Sammy J. No one knows that nickname, Sammy J.
Yeah, that's what we call him. No, Nick Fury.
We cool like that.
I'm glad he's getting a flex, dude. He's such a good, talented actor. No one in the world can deny that. And the fact that Marvel, has he been? He's not. This is the first time he's been a lead. I don't even think there's an argument there. This is the first time he's been a lead in the MCU, even though he's been around the whole time.
No, I 100% agree with that. I think that he has needed this. It shows the growth and the expansion. The longest I think we saw him on screen, if it wasn't Avengers 1, would have been Winter Soldier.
Right. And even that, it wasn't super heavy. I mean, he had that cool car scene, which is it's definitely one of my favorite Nick Fury scenes. But this show just pretty much every week is showing us exactly why Sam Jackson is such a phenomenal actor. So I've been having a great time. Where we left off, I guess, on episode 2, well, that was the whole, thing going on. Oh, man, what we were just talking about it. What did episode 2 end with? It was, it doesn't matter. Episode 3, though, that's the one where we kind of get more graphic stuff. Emilia Clarke's character really kind of goes undercover, and we learn a little bit more about the Super Skrull. I guess Super Skrull serum. I mean, we're kind of hitting on this quite a bit, guys, but it's a cool new electric dome thing.
I like the way that they've explained Super Skrulls in this, where it's more of steal. I mean, it was stealing from other people, but it was the Fantastic Four, and I like how they've found a way to give us Fantastic Four powers without it.
I wanted to point that out. I mean, we're like I said, we're gonna jump around a little bit, but him extending his arm was very Groot. It looked like Groot roots, and I was like, maybe he got some looks at Avengers powers. I don't know where they're going with it, but it's definitely cool. I love that Super Skrull, he's a Fantastic Four villain, so I say every week so far, or even predating this, I was like, I really hope we get a really cool either cameo or a blatant in-your-face reference to the Fantastic Four, because moving forward, I mean, they're gonna be a big highlight of the MCU. But you get to see your boy Donnie Chi,
Don Cheadle. Let's go.
He's doing work, man, in this episode and in these last couple of episodes. But I'm glad he's getting to be highlighted a little bit too, because like you said, I think in a previous episode of the Marvel Stuff podcast, we talked about Don Cheadle a little bit and how he's pretty well respected in, I guess, a lot of black cinematography and stuff like that I wasn't super familiar with. I knew him from a couple of things. What was it? Hotel
Rwanda, but Rosewood is a wonderful one. Captain Planet. I mean, Black Icon. Everyone knows that. Black
right. Yeah. So, and he's getting to like really flesh out his character, and he's very much turning heel. And obviously, with the most recent episode, which spoilers if you guys haven't seen it yet, I mean it's been on a few days,
does
so I don't feel too bad.
explain a lot of the heelish tendencies. Because I mean, and anyone who's watching the podcast, I am a black man, but Cheadle for the first episode when he fired Nick felt very Uncle Tom. He felt so.
Oh yeah, it was Uncle Tom. I think was it episode 1 or 2? Either way, when he straight fired him.
Yeah, and then the next episode where he gave a very false wrestling analogy. Undertaker never done like a DDT off the top ropes, and like old school.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you for reminding me, Noah. I would like to personally complain to the writers of the show for not being real WWE fans. The only thing that I could think they were maybe talking about is Undertaker's last ride, where he walks, tightrope style across the top rope, and then he drops an elbow. Yep. Yeah. Or right. Yeah. Not last ride. Last ride's the one where he puts him over his head. But yes, it's old school. And he just like elbow drops onto their elbow. Back. It is not a DDT, and they can shut up. I was so mad.
I was like, because I was like, I thought about it when I was like, I mean, you used the Undertaker reference, but you could have used.
There were so many other people that you could have done better. Like, you could have gone with a more like recent one. You could go with like the Uso twins. You could have been Uso off the top rope. That would have made so much sense.
I would have believed you would have like maybe he's DD. I know he's suplex.
I get they were digging in the bag for arguably the most famous wrestler of all time. But if you're gonna say DDT, you got to pick someone who actually DDTs people. That's all I'm saying.
Who actually DDT? Yeah. So but the cockiness, and I mean, we figured out that, and I do like the fact that now going back and rewatching these episodes with Don, there was femininity to it. You can tell that it wasn't the harsh, like, military man.
It's so much less funny too.
A lot less funny. And even the joke when they're trying to make the joke about the wrestling, it doesn't land right because it's like, what? Like, it doesn't have the Don Cheadle, the roadie quip, the boom, you're looking for this. It doesn't have that quip to it.
Yeah, they haven't explained it yet, and I'm looking forward to the explanation. Is how long has Rhodey been a Skrull? That needs. Are they going to go back and explain that? They're just going to leave it up for interpretation. Like, are we talking just post Endgame? Like, when did this happen?
Yeah, it has to be post Endgame.
You'd think so, but unless they're like really trying, they're like, you know what? He's been a Skrull the whole time, which he has.
They couldn't do that because of Vision.
The surgeries and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Now, for me, it would be an ultimate slap in the face to have a Skrull be there during Tony's last breath.
Yeah. Also, side note, he doesn't have the leg braces. In this stuff, that's a bit like when he first showed up in the show, I was like, no leg braces. I mean, I guess with enough physical therapy, maybe a scenario like that could come about where he doesn't need the braces, but
it also seems like no one's questioned it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, it's a little sketchy, but I mean, we all know why now, because Rhodey's a Skrull. I loved what did he call it? Pappy's 24 karat like whiskey or whatever it was. I was like, man, I never wanted whiskey so bad in my life.
And it's the second time we've seen that whiskey.
Is it? What was the other time? Was it in She-Hulk? Oh.
Mm-hmm. It was what her boss gave her right before he fired her.
That's sick. That's a sick party present.
Yeah, like $2,000-$3,000 bottle of whiskey. Like a couple grand.
Yeah. There's been a lot of like the racial conversations and like comparisons throughout this show that I've really been a big fan of, like them going back and forth. But I was like, I totally got the Uncle Tom vibe you're talking about. I was like, it doesn't seem great. And like, but I mean, he hit back with a couple of good points. But I was like, maybe I kind of buy it. But for the most part, I was like, Nick's really just trying to like, I guess, investigate a little bit. Like, hey, man, you're supposed to look out for each other. And he called them inadequate or, what do you call them? Inadequate men or inefficient men, whatever he called them at the end of that firing conversation. It was crazy. But yeah, Secret Invasion is a good show. I like how they're heavily leaning into the drama. I don't miss a bunch of the MCU humor. It's become slightly dry. I'm glad that we're finally like, we can do another genre, guys. People are already kind of dipping out on these shows, so why don't we try and make an actually good show instead of one that they readjust where it has to apply to the masses. I'm glad it's being very direct about that. And it's showing in the popularity. This show isn't anywhere near as popular as pretty much any other MCU show other than like maybe She-Hulk. I think even Ms. Marvel has had more viewers than this one, which that could, switch either way. But as of right now, Secret Invasion is not popping off, which is a huge bummer because it's a pretty talented cast. I guess as far as relationships go, how do you feel about the Talos Gaia father-daughter relationship? It just feels like a little bit of like the generational thing where the father's like, we need to hide in order to eventually be accepted, and then Gaia's being very real about it, being like, you're delusional, and that's kind of where they leave things, which that's a tough last conversation to have with your dad, because as we know, Talos is now passed, which rough, dude. That sucks. But
that was a hard one to take, because I felt like it was coming, especially with the fact of her not dying.
Yeah, that was sick though. I texted Coach as soon as like she got killed at the end of episode 3. I was like, there's no way they actually did that. I mean, she's such a big name. That would be such a waste of the character. But also, I also want, like, they try and make these shows very high stakes. So I wasn't entirely convinced it wasn't real. And then obviously the next episode, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes way more sense.
No, I felt, because there were scenes in one of the trailers that we haven't seen yet, like her getting the powers. So I was like,
oh, I guess I didn't remember that. But yeah, I mean, I tried to avoid trailers for the shows because it feels a little weird. But
yeah, I think it was like only one that I had seen. I haven't seen any trailers for Blue Beetle. Well, no, I saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one. But I'm trying to avoid trailers as much as possible. I try and watch one. I try and at least kind of know what I'm getting into.
Hear that, guys? Noah just volunteered to go see Blue Beetle with me and my friends and fam, and it's gonna be great because that movie's gonna be sick.
As long as I don't have a show, I got it.
we'll do a nice review on this podcast because by the way, guys, you voted on a couple of things while we were away, and we're happy to announce that a lot of you guys are into us doing other stuff instead of just being Marvel. We're not going to rename the podcast, but every once in a while we did the Flash review, and then back a few months ago we did Avatar 2, and people seem to be into that, so that's awesome. Witcher season 3, a lot of you guys aren't super on board with us doing that one, but maybe we'll do like a quick episode at the end of this, but that's all right. Yeah, so I mean, the community's popping off. That's great. And our Facebook page is popping off. Everybody's posting about the new Marvel images and casting rumors. And
yeah,
I just gotta say, man, Wolvie in the yellow. We're a little late to the party being a Marvel podcast, but I send it, dude. I'm so excited. They're finally doing the comic book accurate. Like, he's wearing the bright ass yellow. He looks like a peep, and it's awesome. I'm so into it, dude. How do you feel about seeing our boy Hugh Jackman finally suit up in the iconic blue and yellow?
Oh, well, I mean, so I have two feelings. First feeling is, yes, finally we got here. He's got the bright yellow. He's got the blue. I didn't know if they were going to probably try and dinge it down and do the brown. So I do like.
I thought they were going to do either X-Force, which would have been the gray and black, or they were going to do like Uncanny Wolverine, or one of those other ones where it's like the brown and like the dark yellow. That I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going to go with. So the fact that they went bright, I was like, all right, I can. What I was like weirded out strangely about was the fact that it had sleeves. Like, to me, that just weirded me out.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It was a choice because I mean, obviously Hugh Jackman's been working hard on his bod. I follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't know how you can be that old and still get that ripped so quick. I get that you're getting paid a lot of money, but also much respect. Hugh is very famous for being non-assisted in his build. He doesn't take steroids or stuff like that, like high up on tea or anything. He does it like the natural way. He'll eat. Not that there's, I mean, I get it, guys. You're all in a rush, but you got to have some respect for 50-something-year-old man that's like, you know what? I'm going in hard. I'm eating the steamed chicken and the rice, and I'm going to get jacked. And he did it once again. I'm so excited for him. This movie's going to be unreal. And that the release date got moved up for that, obviously. So could not be more excited for Deadpool 3. It's a bummer that everything else got delayed because we don't have an update on the whole Jonathan Majors thing as of yet. So
as of yet. But I mean, we also got confirmed Jennifer Gardner returning as Elektra, which makes me wonder, will we get Ben Affleck's?
That's another one that people are definitely rumored to be doing. And this is not normally what we do on the show, but I mean, once we got Garner confirmed that she's going to be in it, I'm like, we got to do a little bit of speculation. The fact that the last time she suited up as Elektra was in one of the worst superhero movies of all time. We brought it up on this podcast in one of those guessing games and how bad it tanked at the theaters and stuff and had a weird Ben Affleck cameo. It was, if you ever just want to burn 2 hours of your life away and then feel terrible about it, go watch Elektra. I have it on DVD. I will mail it to you so you can watch it. I won't actually.
I was going to say, if you ever want to prove that you hate somebody for a white elephant gift or for just a breakup gift, if you want to break up with someone, buy them Elektra. No questions asked. Just buy Elektra, then ghost them.
She'll know by the end that you're not interested. But I mean, it's cool. I'm excited. I preferred the Elektra from the Netflix series, but I'm not upset that they're going to be doing a 20th Century Fox thing, which the set images that were about to be leaked by the press, but instead the actual production company, they're like, screw you guys, we're going to release it ourselves. And there's a giant, like, semi-destructed 20th Century Fox backdrop, so it's going to be a sweet epic fight between the two of them, and it's going to be absolutely legendary. Can you believe we live in a world where we get to watch Hugh Jackman play in the same universe as Deadpool? 2009 was the last time. 2009, X-Men Origins Wolverine was the last time they were together, and then like 14 years later, they're like, let's do it again, bro. Let's go.
The wild thing to me is the fact that, and I mean, he already broke the Guinness Book. I believe Hugh Jackman broke the Guinness
Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. They did co-own it, but then Patrick Stewart reprised his role in Multiverse of Madness. So I think Patrick Stewart has it right now.
And now they're getting ready to, unless Patrick Stewart returns.
Which is also another rumor, because we got James McAvoy in Deadpool 2, so they might go full send and just get Ian McKellen's Magneto and Patrick Stewart for one last ride.
I mean, we aren't a speculation podcast, but the speculation from everything from Femke and Ian McKellen returning, as well as there's a possibility of Scarlet. Because we're not a speculation, I want to pose a question to you then. What 20th century character or actor would you want to see? Not saying that
what I want to see, or what would be the funniest, because those are two different answers.
All right, give me both.
All right, Nick Cage's Ghost Rider would for sure be the funniest thing they could possibly do. But who would I actually most like to see return? I think just for the laughs, not for funny, but also just like the ironic nature of Chris Evans coming back to an MCU movie to be Human Torch would speak to my soul on like a different level. So I think that one I'd be most excited for. Though I will give shout outs to like the OG X-Men. Like if we got James Marsden or Famke Jensen or even Sean Ashmore's Iceman, any of those guys, I'd be so excited. I would lose my mind.
All right. Okay, I can respect that.
What about you though?
So for me, in terms of like cool, because we're getting Elektra, I would just want there to be a scene with the Midnight Suns, but it is the Nick Cage, Ghost Rider, Wesley Snipes, Blade. Like I would
they
want,
went
like,
that hard in the paint, dude. And then they got the what's her name? I'm so upset I can't remember off the top of my head. She's from the Runaways. She's got the purple one, Nico. If they got Nico as well Minora. Nico Minora from the Hulu show, and like all these like super low key, or if they got like the dude from Legion, like any of these guys that they like, it's
and just like
forgotten
squatted up.
Yeah.
And even like just like Ryan Reynolds saying, no, they're too dark for us. Like he's like trying to get a squad together, and he's like, no,
no. Yeah, because right, and there's another rumor. Again, we're trying not to be a speculation podcast, but it's also kind of fun sometimes. The fact that they're like, you know what, we're gonna bring back all of X-Force back. If we get Brad Pitt back to be Vanishing Man one more time, or Invisible.
I do believe that it's official. It's not a rumor that they signed the guy who played the
Fred or Doug, whatever the heck that guy's name is with the stash. Yeah,
like he's officially in the movie. I don't know about anyone else.
I'm so excited. Yeah,
so that's the one that I would like love. Funny would be Michael B. Jordan and Chris Evans.
Ooh, double up. Yeah, you're right.
Because the fact that they're both MCU and Human Torch. The fact that they're both Human Torch.
That is pretty sick. Even if they just did that as a post-credit, it would make me happy. Like, it doesn't even have to have context in the movie. Because although people take post-credit so seriously sometimes, they might have to, like, caveat it up front. Like, we're never doing anything else with this, but please enjoy.
And it's just Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan as Human Torch.
And they just light each other's cigar by snapping fingers or something. That'd be so sick, dude. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I don't need them to suit up or anything.
I would even enjoy it to announce it's them two, and then Deadpool talks about we get introduced to the new Human Torch.
That would be cool. That'd be neat for sure. Yeah, I mean, what else is going on in Marvel right now? I mean, Tom Holland's Apple TV show. A lot of people were dunking on it. I watch it. I like it. Pretty good. It's called The Crowded Room. It's on Apple TV. So guys, check that out to support our MCU bro. Any other things you can think of MCU related?
Yes, actually.
Because there's lots of stuff going on.
Yeah. Imani, I think her name is.
Imani Valent. Yeah. She's co-writing a comic book.
Yes. They have officially done it. I'm not a fan of it, but she is now Kamala Khan is now officially a mutant.
Even they retconned it. Okay.
Yes, because she just died.
I don't blame it. Yes, she did die in the comic books, which it sounds like they're bringing her back already. Which I was like, they have to because of the
protocol, because of the
Croatian
protocol. The mutant protocol that they now have.
Yep. The X-Men series recently. There's so many books. It's overwhelming. And I don't like any of them because I don't like the idea of that island where everybody's living on it and there's like there's like a head table of like mutually respected mutants like Omega Red and Magneto and Professor X are all part of like this overarching like they vote on everything. Like I get it, but they've been doing it for years at this point and I'm over it, dude. I'm bored. Please.
And Beast is pretty much Hitler now.
I didn't know about that.
Beast is a menace. He is a menace to society. He has a group of clones of Wolverine that he pretty much has as a shadow force. That if you disagree with mutants, you're done. And he's just sends them out.
That's wild.
You're done. So yeah, one of my favorite characters is now a terrorist, so I have to deal with that. But
that's unfortunate.
What I will say, one thing I love about X-Men in the comics, I guess, but you might not feel the same way. The Hellfire Gala.
Oh, those things were fire. I'll give you that.
Poppin'.
Yeah, I like how it's Hellfire Gala versus the swimsuit edition of DC. Pretty much, I think it was the same month. I was like, these are cool alt covers. Speaking of cool alt covers, I posted on the Facebook group that I got to meet the one and only Jim Lee, but I definitely have the ones that I got signed with his if you're watching, he signed my Titans comic right there at the bottom, and then the Nightwing 100. Also my statue sitting in the back here. I'm excited about it. That was really
and your arm. He signed your arm.
He did sign my arm because I have a tattoo. Yeah, the tattoo that I posted. I literally almost got his signature tattooed, and then I was like, that kind of makes me his bitch, so I won't do that.
I'm owned.
It was sick though, and he was a very nice guy. It was like he took time to talk to everyone. So if you guys ever think about cool comic book artists you want to meet, put him near the top because he'll give you the time of day for sure. He was very cool to meet. Outside of that, though, I think that's kind of where we're sitting as far as Marvel stuff is going on. We got Spider-Man 2. We already kind of talked about that coming. The video game coming in October. That's going to be awesome. Please, Sony, for the love of God, give me more than that 7-second teaser of Wolverine before the year is over, please. Because Wolverine comes out next year, and I haven't been more excited for a video game since I heard about Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights it's an okay game, so it was slightly let down. I finally got a AAA Nightwing game, and then they like totally Marvel's Avengered it, and it was like, Still platinum it though. No one can call me a fake fan. I platinum the crap out of that game, but yep. Please give us an update, Noah. Anything else you can think of that you wanted to bring up on the pod here?
Yeah. So I think in terms of just things that are coming out, things to look out for that are comic book based, Marvel based, and stuff like that. For sure, it's not Marvel based, but Blue Beetle looks sick.
It does
look clean. I'm excited for it. Nerd based news, Mortal Kombat. Like as an actor, and as a writer, I support the strikes.
Yes.
But that being said, stuff is going to be closing down. Stuff is going to be
such a bummer, but I get it.
Yeah, the part that I really want to preface is I hope that going forward, like all these stuff that are coming out, do not let these companies fool you with like setting up these amazing trailers and stuff like the fact that Barbie and Oppenheimer are getting ready to come out shortly after the actors went on strike. I was like, that. I mean, I get it. I'm gonna be watching Barbie. Like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but... me and my wife are gonna do the where we've been talking about. We're probably gonna do the full
Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Thing. Oh, I'm gonna have her paint my fingernails black and give me eyeliner, and she's gonna get all dolled up like a Barbie, and it's all gonna be for a stupid picture before we go watch 6 hours of movie. But it'll be legendary, so it's okay.
Yeah. So respect the artists, respect the writers, respect all of them. They deserve so much more. And this AI background face.
Yeah, the fact that, man, Secret Invasion done messed up when they're like, oh, everyone's mad about AI. Why don't we make the intro to the new MCU show be completely AI created? I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea, guys.
Yeah, good smart. You guys
I get it because it did give that like creepy vibe. So like, I was like, I kind of liked the intro, but I hate that no one got paid for it. Like that bothers me. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird things. But yeah, AI is going to take over and we're all going to have no jobs and it's going to be sick, guys. I hope you're ready for the Terminator to come to.
Yeah, or the Matrix. We're going to become batteries.
Hey. Nope. That about sums it up, though. Thank you guys for tuning into the Marvel Stuff podcast once again. Sorry we missed a couple weeks and kind of a short episode, but at the same time, we got stuff to do and we appreciate the time that you give us and we're excited to keep things rolling. Secret Invasion got a few more episodes and more Marvel stuff coming down the pipeline. Noah, thank you again for stopping in. Hopefully I can tap you maybe next week or in the next couple weeks and we'll run it again until Coach gets his bearings because the double kiddo action is dunking on that kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're two single kids. We both have one kid.
Yeah, just one kid, and yep, it's less aggressive than two kids and one of them being a newborn, and they both need diaper changes. That sounds like a nightmare. So, but kid's super cute, so probably worth it. Shout out to Coach.
Fine, sure.
We'll see you eventually. But Noah King Bates, thank you for tapping in once again, and I will bother you many weeks in the future. You guys have a good one. Have fun, but not too much fun without